Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make a miniature jewelry stand very similar to the one that I found on the internet. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get yourself some recycled tubing. This came out of the inside of a spray bottle, like a, you know how you have Clorox and Windex and stuff like that? This is the tube that sends the flow of the liquid clean on up into the sprayer. Okay, once you have that, then you want to get yourself some little, jewelry pieces. This is just a ring. You can find that in your jewelry department. Basically, you would tie rope around or string around this and then make a bracelet out of that. Alright, after you have that, then you need some copper wire or some kind of wire. It doesn't necessarily have to be copper. You want to get yourself some stick pins and some spacers. Okay, now you're going to need hot glue as well. Once you have everything you got there, you want to go ahead and cut your plastic tubing. Now I will tell you this, if you cut it with scissors, it will fray the edge, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to cut a real thin piece off of here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, how like sloppy looking that is. Very uneven. Well, if you use the multi-cut 3-in-1 cutting tool, you can fix that problem. Now look how much cleaner that is. Alright, so you want to go ahead and do that. You want to get yourself two that are just a little bit smaller than the one before that. It can be a little bit smaller than that, or they can both be the same size either way. Alright, and what I did was I poked a hole using a stick pin, and then I finished it off with a nail and poked the nail in there. You can drill that if you like. So that's what you need to do. Okay, and this is the nail that I used. Alright, then I bent my wire into what you could call a 7, but we're going to do it upside down. Alright, just like that. We're going to put that in the hole that we created. Okay, now I want to straighten that up a little bit because it's a little bit wonky. Alright, now the other part of the 7, we're going to put that in there like that. And you can add some crazy glue on there before you put it in so it can hold, but I'm just putting it together for you now. Alright, I'll worry about the crazy glue afterwards. Then you have your little circle, okay? Now this is going to be your base. And we're going to hot glue the center of that and stick this right in the center so that it has that nice decorative base. Now you can use something else for your bottom. You don't have to use this. You can use a little piece of wood, and then if you did, you would just cut these flat and then drill a hole and stick them right in there. I kind of wanted that because it had that braided edge. Alright, that's why I chose that. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and get the hot glue gun, make sure it's nice and hot, and I'll show you how to attach that. Alright, so I just have this thin piece of aluminum that I'm using so that I can peel it back off of there. Alright. I'm going to actually tape it down because it is actually lifting up and I don't want it to move around. Alright, so now I have that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue right in there. You don't want to do too much because you don't want it to be gaudy looking. Just kind of put it around in that circle nice and smooth. Make sure you fill in the entire circle though. You don't want any gaps. All right, and at this point, you want to take your jewelry stand and you want to stick it right down in there. All right, and you want to let that cool. Just leave it cool just like it is. And in the meantime, get yourself some stick pens or some beads, either one. I chose the pearl look because it just looks girly. You can use some gold or some colors or whatever you want. And you are going to push them in there, but you need to cut them off, okay? So you need to get yourself some wire cutters, measure down where you're going to need to cut it. And then remove that. Make sure that it's going to fit in there. Okay, mine fits in there perfect. I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 of these. You want to cut 4. Alright, so now you want to go ahead and take your cut ones and you want to put a spacer on them. Now this part's optional. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing it to girly it up a little bit. Alright, once you do that, then you're going to put them in here. But you want to put some hot glue on here so that it sticks. Alright, so once you have that in there and it's cooled off, you want to go ahead and go back over top of it with a little bit of hot glue. Just like this. That just seals that piece in there. You don't need a lot, just enough to fill that little part there. Alright, and then you want to get your fabric that you're going to use and you want to measure where you're going to cut, and you want to cut it just a tiny bit longer than this. Okay, so now you want to put this onto a spare piece of wire and you want to put some crazy glue on it. Now you can choose to use hot glue if you like, but hot glue will be a little bit more gaudy on there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Just like that, and then I'm pressing it so that that glue spreads out just a little bit. Alright, and right here in the middle where that little connector is going to go, you want to cut that so they can slide easily around. Alright. Now you want to go and cut right here where it's going to meet up again. And then you want to add some more glue. And then just wrap it around there. Alright, you want to let that dry. Once that dries, then you want to cut it off even so you don't see the seam. Okay, so now you want to take the scissors and you want to find your edge. Your edge is right here, so you want to just go a teeny bit longer than the edge. Okay, just a little bit more than the edge because you want to have it overhang just a tiny bit. Alright, go ahead and cut that excess off. Alright, and you can finish it off with some glue at the bottom again, but it should look kind of like that. All right, now at this point, what you want to do is you want to get something to poke it down in there. And it should go in there like that. All right, and you're going to do the same thing to this side. Alright, so this one's not wanting to tuck in because I cut it a little too short, so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some crazy glue on there. And that'll help hold it. Make sure you leave that just long enough, because if you don't, it ends up being a little bit of a problem. Alright, now that you have that, you can squeeze some more crazy glue in there, because you need something to hold your pins in. And or you can use the hot glue, either way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this pen in here, just like that. I'm going to remove this out of here. Because at this point I need to put this back on here before I lose my place. Alright, so I'm going to put that on there and I'm going to put the other pen in. I'll be right back. Alright, now you want to do the same thing that we did there to the next piece that goes down here. Alright, we're just going to repeat that process. Okay, once you have that on there, then you want to go ahead and put this back on the other one. And to make it easy to get around the fabric a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of widen my hole a little bit with the scissors. And then I'm just going to put some crazy glue in there. And then I'll stick it down on there. Alright, now we're going to let that dry for a second and then we'll remove it off of this and I'll show you the next step. Okay, while that's cooling off and drying, I'm going to show you how to make some bangles to put on there. You know, the little bracelets that you wear around your wrist? Alright, so you want to get yourself a straw, and you can either use nail polish and you can paint it, or you can use some alcohol markers. And if you use alcohol markers, then you're just going to color it. Alright, and you would just go like this. Now I will tell you this, the alcohol markers do tend to wear off a little bit, so that's a downside of that. However, the nail polish, they do tend to break when you cut them sometimes if you have it too thin. Alright, so that's what you're going to do there. And then you just want to take a pair of scissors that are kind of sharp. I'm using my micro tip scissors. And then there you have a little bangle. Okay? So that's that. And then if you do it on the part that's the bendy part of the straw, you can get some really cool looking bangles, because they'll look more rounded. Okay, so there's the rounded one versus the flat one. I'm not sure if you can really see the difference. The one on the bend actually looks more realistic to me in person because it has more texture to it. But you can make lots of them. I mean, here's a whole bunch. And then here's the painted nail polish effect. I mean, I've got tons of them over here. Okay, so we're going to have those to go on our project when we're done. Okay, and right about now, that should be pretty cool to pull off of there. So you just kind of want to peel away it off of the back. Be very careful not to cut yourself with that foil. And the bottom should look like this, and the top should look like this. Now, you can go ahead and paint this if you like, with some nail polish or whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and paint it because I think it'll look better painted. Alright, to paint this so it'll look right, we're going to use some black nail polish, and you will need multiple coats. You can try painting it with acrylic, but I don't think the acrylic is going to stick to the glue very well. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint it with this. And I'm also not going to paint this, I don't think. I'll have to test it to see if I like it, but I don't think I'm going to paint the actual copper going up. I think I'm going to leave that copper. Alright, so I'm going to go and paint it. I'll be right back. Okay, so once you paint it, that's what it's going to look like. I actually decided to go ahead and paint the rods going up from the copper wire because I thought it looked better once I did it on the test. But there it is. And I also put a little bit of nail polish on the actual fabric. I don't know if you can see the difference in it, but I thought it gave it a little bit darker of a look. But that's the bracelet holder or necklace holder or whatever you want to do. Alright, so if you want to put your bangles on it or whatever, I mean, mine's still wet, but you can certainly slide them on here and let them just sit on there. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like on the dresser. Some of the different bangles. Alright, well thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a question, suggestion, or comment below. And hit that bell if you want to be notified when I post more videos. Thanks a lot, and have a wonderful day.